Soldier, keep on marching on. Head down till the work is done. Waiting on that morning sun. Soldier, keep on marching on. Head in the dust, feet in the fire. Labor on that midnight wire. Listening for that angel choir. You got nowhere to run. You wanna take a drink of that promised land. Gotta wipe the dirt off of your hands. Careful son, you got dreamers' plans, but it gets hard to stand. Soldier, keep on marching on. Head down till the work is done. Waiting on that morning sun. Soldier, keep on marching on. Quiet night, gonna wake the beast. Hide your soul out of his reach. Shiver to that broken beat. Dark into the heat. Oh, 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 oh. Soldier, keep on marching. Keep on marching on. Keep on marching. Soldier, keep on marching. Keep on marching.
There's something up there. See that ring around it? Now look, it look like two in the camera. See the other one? It don't look like it is. What the fuck is that in front of it now? What the fuck is that? 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 Bro, tell me that. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? What the fuck? Bro. What the fuck is that? Niggas need to, boy. What in the fuck was that? What the fuck? Hell no. Hell no.
You know, this consciousness is becoming a trend. Everybody jumping in their third eye bag like it's so new. Hoping it go cool. Spirit bombing, chopping the chakras, popping the tofu. From Whole Foods, but they don't get the whole food. GMO wax pack, you don't get the whole food. Vegetarian veggie slow chewed. Can't even talk about cow, it fuck up your whole mood. But it's deeper than that, Tess. It start off with your school, kids TV shots, create the slow moves, hop in your pool, bromine filled with bromine, info so glued, we hope lose, and it seems if they dogging us, it seems. I used to ask myself, why the fuck is everybody asleep? Then I thought about it. Most of these niggas following their dreams. But it's deeper than that. Dentist to dentist setup, fluoride toothpaste, create toothaches, you fake, Orajel, give you braces, they be two races, to straighten up that big white smile. If you don't got it, they say you Satan, and they feed you from the anesthesia. You know how I know these some evil motherfuckers? Dentist say don't eat sweets, it'll fuck up your teeth, and soon as you leave, he give you a sucker. That's fire, that's fire. But look, it ain't no medium with these encyclopedia medium meat eaters who don't believe in the hype. Look at Nick Cannon. Soon as we get a conscious star, he fall victim to what the media write. Oh, but they ain't get it? Conscious star, fall, meteorite? That's just a way for them to stop a sound. Because when the meteorite or conscious star is falling, that's just a way for them to calm it down.
What's up, y'all? I'm gonna go to the stores just like this. Why can't I? Y'all let Diana Ross do it. I don't give a damn. We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five. Why I look like it's missing the 3 pieces? That's glue. I'm not wearing this shit. I'm just finna go with what I know. That hat combo. I'm on my way to Walmart, so I'm finna buy me a new one. This is my work hat. I don't be thinking about work when I be off, so why am I walking around in uniform? Let me tighten it up, baby. Tighten it up. It still ain't that much, huh? Give me a second. Voila. Magic. Floof now. Shit. Don't be doing these bald head activities. You not bald. Is it floofed? You don't know shit. Shut up. Like I said. I'm ready to go. Come on, let's go!
So I'm sure we've all heard about the WF conspiracy so far. And if you are not sure what I'm talking about, I'll go ahead and insert this clip. We all remember when WF was selling these cabinets. Everybody went crazy across social media. We had people on both sides of the fence saying that these were children. Some people saying that people just needed to get a life. But let me show y'all this. So I'm over here doing research, as I always do. Before I tell any information, I always do my research. And I stumble across a story that it seems like they're trying to bury. On September 8th of this year, a 14-year-old girl showed up to a hospital in Dallas, Texas, with her hands bound and her mouth gagged. She wasn't wearing any shoes. You could tell that she had been held somewhere for a period of time. I have blurred out this image only because I want to protect this minor. I'm not really sure why her picture was even posted in the first place. When the police arrived to the hospital to question the young girl about where she, been, where she came from, the young girl gave them an interesting story. To protect myself, because I do believe they are trying to bury this story. I haven't seen it on any major news outlets. I will call the company Bergmart. So the young girl goes on to explain how she and one of her good friends were inside of Bergmart shopping. She had to go to the back of the store while her friend went to another area of the store, and they were supposed to meet up at the registers. While she was shopping, a lady walked up to her and pushed one of these in her face and told her to smell this perfume. And the young girl, before she could protest, she did inhale whatever was on the strip, and she began to lose consciousness. But not before she got to see someone who she stated had on the Bergmark attire or vest, came and grabbed her and took her through the back of the Bergmark. She described how when she woke up, she was chained to other children inside of a dark basement. She then went on to describe how masked men came into the room and threw bags over each of the children's heads before they were transported via train to another location or another state. When they got the children to this second location, she stated that some things happened to her that I cannot say on TikTok, so I'll just say traumatizing. And then she was put on a live auction with other little children, y'all. Now, this is where it gets weird. The young girl is claiming that this company, Bergmark, who has a missing wall that everyone knows about when they walk into the store, there's a missing wall right there when you walk in. She's saying that they are using that wall as an auction list.
The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted.
The true location of the land of Judah, continuing my series on the possibility that biblical history happened in the Americas. Today we're going to be talking about the real location of the land of Judah. Now, what makes the tribe of Judah so important in the Bible? The tribe of Judah became the most powerful and most important tribe. Not only did it produce the great kings David and Solomon, but also it was prophesied that the Messiah would come from among its members. The kingdom of Judah was in Utah. The best-selling book When Rocks Cry Out by Horace Butler has already demonstrated that Peru was Jerusalem and that the kingdom of Judah is in Utah. How did Mr. Butler prove that the kingdom of Judah was in Utah? Well, he used biblical verses from Deuteronomy chapter 34 verses 1 through 3, which reads as follows. And Moses went up from the plains of Moab onto the mountain of Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, that is over Jericho, and the Lord showed him all the land of Gilead unto Dan, and all Naphtali and the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, and all the land of Judah unto utmost sea, and the south and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees, unto Zoar. The strange thing about the description of the kingdom of Judah given in Deuteronomy chapter 34 is that all these biblical place names can be found in Utah, such as Manasseh, Utah, Mount Nebo, Utah, Mount Pisgah, Utah, Jericho, Utah, South Gilead Way, Utah, Ephraim, Utah, Daniel, Utah, Nephi, Utah, short for Naphtali, Moab, Utah, and many other biblical names are found in Utah, such as Goshen, Utah, Jordan Salt Lake, which could possibly be the real Dead Sea. There is a mountain in eastern Nevada named Mount Moriah, and it's over 12,000 feet high. In Utah, not only is there a river Jordan, but it runs out of a freshwater lake and into the Great Salt Lake, which is remarkably like the Dead Sea. There is also a Mount Nebo in Utah, approximately 12,000 feet high. So yes, with evidence this strong, the real Judah was possibly in Utah. Now, people often try to say that it was the Mormons that gave these places names in Utah, biblical names to support their position as Jews. However, this explanation fails miserably because there are no 12,000 feet high mountains in modern-day Jerusalem. Therefore, the real Judah or Israel has to be in Utah because it fits the description of the kingdom of Judah perfectly. Now, one of the criticisms I would get for looking into the possibility that much of biblical history happened into the Americas is that I'm stepping into Mormon territory. However, I do not believe in any denomination whatsoever. So just because I look into the possibility of biblical history happening somewhere else doesn't make me part of any denomination. I also believe that we should limit our use of technology such as social media and artificial intelligence, but that doesn't make me an Amish. So often people say that the reason Utah has all these biblical names was because of the Mormons, but the reality is all these names were given by the natives found throughout Utah. Such as the name Utah itself, it is derived from the name of the Oti tribe. It means people of the mountains in the Oti language. According to other sources, Utah is derived from the Apache named Yuta, which means tall. In the Spanish language, it was said as Utah. Subsequently, the English-speaking people adapted the word Utah. There is no J in Hebrew, therefore Judah is Yudah, especially when you consider the fact that the J and Y have the same meaning and numerical value and are interchangeable as a result. Now, all across Utah you have fascinating rock formations, very unique compared to the rest of the Americas. And one of the most fascinating places in Utah is Moab, Utah. In the Bible, Moab comes from the name Moabites, which belong to the same ethnic stock as the Israelites. Their ancestral founder was Moab, a son of Lot, who was a nephew of the Israelite patriarch Abraham. The Moabites were known to be the enemies of God's people. The kingdom of Moab would constantly mistreat the Israelites. And as a result, to punish the Moabites for mistreating the Israelites, God destroyed Moab's kingdom. And as I've mentioned before, one of the most fruitful things you can study in the Bible is what God's wrath looks like. Whenever God shows his wrath in the scriptures, it often seems to be in the form of a consuming fire. We see examples of this in the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, where God made it rain fire and brimstone. But Sodom and Gomorrah is not the only kingdom that experienced a consuming fire. Many kingdoms throughout the Bible have experienced God's consuming fire, including Sodom and Gomorrah and the Egyptians, but also the Moabites, such as found in the book of Amos, chapter 2, verse 2. But I will send a fire upon Moab, and it shall devour the palaces of Kerioth, and Moab shall die with tumult, with shouting, and with the sound of the trumpet. So throughout the scripture, God says that he destroyed Moab with a consuming fire. And what do we find that's very interesting in Moab, Utah? All throughout the location of Moab, Utah, you find very fascinating rock formations. Now we're told in school that these are the process of natural erosion through millions and millions of years. But what if Moab, Utah is the result of God's consuming fire? And this place is the true location of the Moabites that got consumed by fire. The first example I want to show you of fascinating rock formations is the church rock just south of Moab. It's a very interesting, fascinating rock formation that looks like it possibly in the past was once a temple. The look of this structure doesn't look like it was the process of natural erosion, but it looks as if it used to be some kind of monument that went through a cataclysm. And we're just simply told that all these fascinating rock formations are the process of nature and just natural erosion through millions of years. But when you really look around all across Moab, Utah, and just all across Utah in general, these rock formations look like the layouts of cities. As the Bible states, God's wrath is a consuming fire, and that he will cause kingdoms to melt like wax, making them pretty much unrecognizable from their glorious original state. So yeah, all across Utah, Moab, Utah, you find very interesting structures that possibly were pyramids, and kingdoms, and castles, and idols, but we're just told, oh, this is nothing interesting, this is the process of natural erosion. So now the famous old questions that a lot of believers like to ask. Why would the devil lie about biblical locations? Why does it matter? It matters because it hides true biblical history, and it also hides proof of God's wrath, and what God can do to an entire kingdom in the blink of an eye. I hope you guys found this very fruitful and interesting. This is my 5th video of my series that I started about a month ago, of the possibility that biblical history happened in the Americas. I'm going to continue doing videos on this. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to support this channel, I do have a Patreon. Joining my Patreon helps me afford books and material and possible travel expenses that I plan on doing in the future, visiting some of these sites in the Americas. So if you'd like to support, link in bio. Thank you for all the patrons that have joined, and thank you so much to all the people watching. Please like, comment, and share, and please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching, and we are out.
Alright, this is a parasite class. I use borax, bentonite, clay, apple cider vinegar, Epsom salt, and baking soda. Hot water, and did that for 2 hours. I soaked my feet in there. That's it, just my feet. And as you can see, those parasites that came out while I was pouring it out and all that. I believe you get these parasites from eating, common foods, turkey, cow, which would be considered beef, fucking chicken, not washing your fruits and your vegetables and your foods off, and so on and so forth. This is just a little close-up of the parasites and shit like that. It wasn't bad. I would suggest having something to entertain you for the whole time you do it. You do not have to do 2 hours like I did. You can only do 1 if you want to. This one of the parasites right here. This probably was the biggest one for real. It was a little hefty. You could actually see it real good with the naked eye. It had a little black spot on it too. It's probably an eye or whatever for real, but they do come out dead. Like, you ain't gotta worry about them crawling around or nothing like that for real. I would suggest probably doing it once a week. It won't put you in the clear for like not having parasites in your body no more if you decide to do it one time. You feel what I'm saying? But you can see that's more parasites. Shit look nasty for real, but I'd rather have them out and have them in me. And don't do it if you're pregnant neither. For real. If you're pregnant, it'll put the parasites into your bloodstream, and it'll get into your baby bloodstream too. So, you know, do it on your own.
I reject it because I do not believe in fairy tales about chakras or energy or the power of belief. There is no such thing as spirit. We are made of matter and nothing more. You're just another tiny, momentary speck within an indifferent universe.
You think too little of yourself.
Oh, you think you see through me, do you? Well, you don't. But I see through you! To me.
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eyes. What is real? What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? At the root of existence, mind and matter meet. Thoughts shape reality. This universe is only one of an infinite number. Worlds without end. Some benevolent and life-giving. Others filled with malice and hunger. Dark places where powers older than time lie, ravenous and waiting. Who are you in this vast multiverse, Mr. Strange? Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
Teach me.
No.
Big explosion happened. Aaliyah, one day she had ran away from home. We didn't know where she was at. That's when I brought in all my security team. We went to Mike's house on Woodingham. We sat there on Woodingham with me, my cousin, Kalinde, Sekou, and all the martial arts of Detroit. Barry Hankerson was upstairs. They was telling us to do what we have to do to keep her protected. What we were trying to do was see what was the cause. Come to find out, Leah had a secret phone in the house. Robert was calling her, telling her what to do. She left in the middle of the night, ended up in Miami. We knew nothing about it.
This is before she was famous?
Before she ever became famous. We could have exposed that man, and none of them girls. That's when I feel bad. One of the reasons I feel bad personally, I take off my glasses and tell you this, I feel bad personally because I'm not a person that kiss and tell. I don't speak on the dead in a bad way. But I do know that if we would have started out when she first was making that album, before she ever got famous, if we would have exposed that man then, sadly, I don't believe none of those other girls would have had to suffer. I did not say nothing because I was Michael Horton's friend, his best friend at the time, and when he came to me and told me, don't tell Diane no matter what, because if I tell Diane, she'll call everything off. I didn't know what to think, but I never felt good with myself after that. And that's one of the reasons I'm giving this interview.
And this was the Miami incident?
Yeah.
What year was this Miami incident?
This was in 95. We're talking about, 92? Something like right about 92, 93.
So close. So before the album even came, it was known that there was an inappropriate relationship between the two.
Definitely. Her father knew.
And it was put on the back burner for financial reasons.
Her father put it on the back burner. And what my wife and me feel bad about, we honestly think that if we would have told Diane, she would have stopped it. She would have stopped it. She would have stopped it.
So after this situation with the Miami trip where she like basically ran away with him, how was this rectified? How was this corrected? How were they able to just go on?
First of all, Leah didn't want to go on. She claimed that she was in love with excuse me. Go ahead. She was in love with Robert. Now you got to remember, at the time she was 14, and she was begging her father not to have anything done to Robert. Don't press charges on him. Don't do none of these things to Robert. Barry Hankerson was saying the same thing. But recall, at the time, Robert was up for a contract with Jive Records, okay? At the contract, I think Barry Hankerson was getting something like 4 to 10%, something ridiculous, and it was renewal of the contract. So they telling us to go here and on, and we're gonna keep it going and whatnot. But at the same, his flesh and blood niece, knowing that this man had improperly sexual relationship with his niece and didn't expose him, he sold out for the money.
So how long did their relationship go on before people started to say it was too much? Like it was just too much to conceal?
I give Diane credit. If she would have knew from Jump Street, it would have never happened.
Were you around during the marriage?
During the marriage, I was around, but at that time, Diane had pulled my wife. R. Kelly had called out to Hollywood. Barry was staying in California at the time. And he called out to Hollywood and he said, who is this woman? She won't give me no time with her. She won't give me no time with her. My wife was on him, Yeah. She was everywhere you go. Because that's what Diane told my wife. You be everywhere she go. He called out to California, to Hollywood, and told her, I can't do nothing with her around me. Me and Leah leave time together. They pulled my wife back. And for 30 days, my wife sat in the hotel making her money. And Leah, that was the time I think that things probably got cozy.
Right. Oh, so they basically paid your wife to go away.
Yep.
Essentially.
Yep.
And she was, sequestered?
Yeah. My wife was in a hotel. She'd go to the studio. It was right across the street from the hotel. She'd go to the studio here and there. But it was like R. Kelly didn't want her there. Right. Because my wife would tell me one time that he would tell her, sing like you making love. Well, at the time, Leah had never made love. And she asked my wife, what is he trying to say?
Right.
Destruction will be so intense that a new makeover of Jerusalem will be required. It says, it is posted that a Stargate will be established close to the city Jerusalem near the year 2024 AD. That's after damnation. That is what we're in right now. The portal for this Stargate will likely be Ezekiel's temple. The refurbished and expanded city of Jerusalem in Israel will be capital of the world in every aspect. This dimensional portal was seen by Jacob when he dreamt of a stairway to heaven with angels ascending and descending. And Stargate, that they say is gonna be there in 2024, right? Because that's why this big war is happening. And this is why America is getting involved, right? Somehow, these beings, probably the Anunnaki, the portal that they had left out from was in that area. So they most likely might come back through that area. And a number of wars are mentioned in the tribulation times 2017 to 2024 AD. Will the seal opening when peace shall depart and men seek to destroy one another. This is the last tribulation war and it shall be very intense. This person is basically giving out the predictions and through the text of the Bible. I hope y'all understood what I was putting down, trying to translate it into my way of perceiving it.
Hi friends, going to do a quick video for you here. I did a video explaining that the sun seems to be in a different position, and if you look it up on the app, it says that the sun is still in Virgo, and the sun should be in Scorpio right now at the end of October. So I had a lot of responses to this, and people were confused because I'm talking about the flat earth model versus the ball model of the earth. And people don't understand what I mean when I say the sun has to stop spiraling outward if it's still in Virgo. It doesn't mean the sun has stopped moving. So in this model of the flat earth, you see you have the sun and the moon that are spiraling on one plane. You have the layers of the atmosphere that spiral on their planes. And then at the bottom, you have the earth plane, which is the inert field. Inert means still point, where matter collects and forms an accretion disk, and this is all water around it, and ice. Ice would be at the outside of this plasma field. The plasma field is shaped like a toroid, okay, a toroidal shape, and you have all these various worlds within worlds, and this is the tree of life, as the Nordic people described it, and many other cultures. So it is not impossible for the sun to stop spinning outward. So here's your flat plane, okay? And you're looking down inside of this toroidal field, right? The toroidal field is at the center, well, the vortex is at the center. Now, you have these bodies that are moving in circles, cyclically, around the vortex. And above here, you have the various other layers, but that's how we see our stars, etc. And the planets are not exactly balls that you can walk on. So without getting into all that, what we're talking about is the sun spiraling inward for summer, and then it spirals outward for winter, so that in Australia, winter is their summer, and in the northern hemisphere, when the sun is out here, it's our winter. Okay, so right now, the sun is somewhere around here in Virgo instead of on its way out into Scorpio. Okay, it should be in Scorpio right now, but it's stuck back in early September where it should be. This is a problem, and no one's talking about it. So this is why I'm bringing this up. This is a huge sign. We just had this eclipse where we saw the Star of David. Sorry, that's not right. We saw the Star of David, right, in the eclipse. So this is a sign that we're told to look for when the paradigm shift happens. No one's ever seen that before, as far as I know. But we've also seen two suns in the sky, so we know that there is some kind of switch off going on. Like, are there two suns because one sun is about to die, another sun is, or another orb is becoming a sun? Is it that this inner vortex is starting to pull the sun back towards the center? We don't really know what's happening. We just know that this is a significant event that needs to be explained. So I hope that helps you to understand the difference between living on a ball where the sun is stationary and the ball is spinning versus the sun being above the flat plane spinning in a spiral. And as you can see, when all of these things, these objects are spinning above us, it creates what is basically the flower of life pattern. That is the world in which we live. The world. Whirlwind.
They came down here to mine gold, but the gold wasn't physical gold. It's the essence of gold. It's the spiritual currency of gold. You feel me? So what they did was they came down here and started mining. Let's basically mining off our frequency. They started feeding off our frequency. So these Anunnakis knew we was going to eventually wake up and realize that that we're the gold that's being, you feel me, mined, so-called. We're the gold. Our energy, our currents is the gold. They know this. So this why they sent Rashad and they sent Malachi Z. York to set you off that path of realizing who you really is. It's not that the Egyptians trying to be important. It's because we really are important. We were original to this planet.
February, some fans took issue with his outfit and pose, claiming that it promotes an image they considered emasculating. Of course, there were also many of those who defended Jonathan's cover and claimed the only people who have a problem with it are those who are not secure in their own masculinity. However, if you ask Terrence Howard, Jonathan's cover is not a coincidence, and it's all part of a wider agenda to emasculate black men. In fact, Terrence was so convinced that this agenda was real that he recently shocked fans by confirming he was leaving Hollywood for good. During one recent interview, Terrence was asked to address the rumors that he was removed from Iron Man 2 because of having anger issues and being uncooperative on set. However, Terrence denied this and claimed he was simply standing up for his principles instead of letting the industry higher-ups dictate what a man should look like on screen, while also adding that nowadays black actors have to be effeminate in order to make it big in Hollywood. My daddy taught me never take the vertebrae out of your back or the base out of your throat, Terrence said. I ain't raising sheep, I raised men. Stay a man. Terrence also added, everything is androgynous, you know? The more successful men now are the effeminate. And then in another recent interview with Revolt, Terrence doubled down on his claims that Hollywood has an agenda against strong black men. The man has been demonized, Terrence said. With the new formula, most men are made to be effeminate and not have their power or sense of strength. They allow white men to be able to be strong, but when it's black men, it's seen as a threat. Terrence also said, I don't want to remove a few chromosomes to fit in somebody's story, so I feel they need to expand their stories to allow men to be men and simultaneously appreciate a woman's beauty. As for his decision to retire from acting, Terrence recently told E.T., this is the end for me. I've been playing pretend for forever. There's no need to play pretend anymore. I've done my time. But as you might expect, Terrence's comments sparked a wide range of responses on the internet, and while some fans are calling Terrence a conspiracy theorist, others are praising him for stepping away from Hollywood and exposing the industry agenda targeting black men. One fan said, this is all BS from an actor with limited skills and an axe to grind. Many, many black actors are working and thriving in the industry. However, another person wrote, I believe there is a germ of truth in what Terrence is saying. I'm seeing too many black men playing effeminate roles in movies, TV programs, and commercials. This may not be accidental. But let's hear your thoughts on this. Are you siding with Terrence about Hollywood's rumored agenda to emasculate black men? Or do you think Terrence is just using this as an excuse for his behavior? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below.
Come here, dude. Orange, Detective Flanders. Why, you little...
Marge versus the monorail is experiencing technical difficulties, but there are plenty of other classic Simpsons World moments playing out right now.
Oh, let's get high and shoot Mr. Burns. Yeah.
This Homer unit is stuck in a catchphrase loop. He won't go into sleep mode.
Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?
I'll do a hard reset.
I'm king of the world. Damn cloud.
So how was your date with the guy in prompt?
Oh, he's so arrogant. Just because he's in charge of Sideshow Bob's rigs. Okay, we get it. There's a lot of rigs.
What the frosty chocolate milkshake is this place? Ooh, slidies. Where am I? What am I? Where's my junk?
Whoa, whoa, he's awake! Come on!
Where's Marge? Where's my family?
Calm down, Mr. Simpson. I know it feels like you're a man, but you are actually something much, much more expensive. Intellectual property.
Look, we've got a bus full of Australian superfans coming. Let's just wipe his brain, okay?
Put that thing down or else!
Look, monorail, Homer. Your programming won't allow you to intentionally hurt a human, okay? So just be a good robot and let us saw your skull.
Oh, okay. Here you go. My bad! Sorry. Lisa, we're not people. We're IP. IP. He's gotta help me find a way out of here.
I'd love to help, Dad, but my diorama on the Telltale Heart is due tomorrow.
How can I make you understand? Oh yeah, the thingy.
Oh God. We're replicants in a ridiculous theme park for an ancient TV show that stopped being good after season 45. Do I even exist? What is consciousness? Okay, I can handle being a machine. I don't love it, but I can deal.
Look, honey, it's never easy to find out you're not actually alive. But that's just part of life. I know the love we feel is real, so we've got to wake up the rest of the family and get the hell out of here. Now help me pick out the hottest Marge.
Get out through the main entrance, but we'll have to make it across the park without being detected. Should we wake up a grandpa robot?
No time!
Okay, act like robots. Touch faces, everyone.
Here.
Don't have a cow, man.
Dinner's ready. Wait, hold on. Here's your hedge, mate.
Get your fat bum in that hedge.
Lean!
I'm so sick of that stupid head.
Oi.
Danger. Human safety breach. Proceed to exits. Security droids deployed.
We gotta go. They're onto us. My cat's breath smells like cat food.
That's nice, Ralph, but we're sort of in a hurry.
Choo-choo-choo
morning, guys. The cheese got left out, so it's a little sweaty, but you never know. Forget I said anything. Take your time. Take your time. Sweaty cheese, sweaty cheese. At the end of the day, you're still cheese to me. Ah, it's all right.
What are they trying to tell us?
What's up?
I got a message for you. In the game of life, like Ampu or Anubis, your heart has to weigh as light as a feather on the scales of my art. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't rob, don't steal. Don't be ruled by your lower self. Neck up, not waist down. And brothers, open up your third eye. Close your dick eye. Ashe.
What's up?
God's true name explained.
He said, did you know that the consonants used in the spelling of the sacred name, Yahweh, are in fact the only consonants that, if correctly pronounced, do not allow you to use your tongue or close your lips. In fact, we know that the pronouncing of the sacred name was an attempt to imitate and replicate breath, that it was inhalation and exhalation. And then he began to do it into the microphone. And in a few minutes, tears started being audible in the room, in a room of PhDs. And it means, wonder of wonders, that the first word you ever spoke when you came out of your mother's womb was the name of God. And the last word you'll ever speak, you don't have to try to remember, do I want to say a prayer before I die? You're going to anyway. That last breath you take on your deathbed will be the name of God. And it's the one thing you've done constantly. You just did it now. And you did it again. You're breathing.
Whose queen was Calafia or Califia. All right? Again, so-called black Amazons, right? We're talking about, copper-colored, dark-hued, dark-skinned Amazons, whose queen was Calafia. Since the Amadi story was very popular at the beginning of the 16th century, it seems reasonable to suppose that it was known to the explorers of that time, and that it became the basis of a name given for one of the new discoveries, referring at first to Lower California, but gradually embracing the entire region, now known as California. All right, so found this book here. I thought it was very interesting as well, relating to what we're, discussing in this video. So it's called Chronicles of Early California, 1535 to 1846, and it's called Lands of Promise and Despair. Very interesting, right? Lands of Promise. Lands of Promise, the Promised Lands, right? We're talking about America. We're talking about California. And this is edited by Rosemary Beebe and Robert M. Sienkiewicz. All right, we're page 9 of this book, and it's called 1510, The Invention of California, by Garcia Rodriguez de Montalvo. And it says here, the name California first appeared in a work published in Seville in 1510 by Garcia Rodriguez de Montalvo, entitled The Labors of the Very Brave Knight Esplandian. All right, so we already got in the other journal that the name California was actually around way before that. All right, but we're just gonna read this just for reference, right? It says Rodriguez de Montalvo was born in the middle of the 15th century. He participated in the final phases of the Reconquista and was knighted for his service at Aljama de Granada in 1482. By the 1490s, he was hard at work on his 5-volume set, Amadis de Gaula, one of the first of many published books of fiction on the themes of chivalry and courtly love, which so captivated the Spanish reading public during the age of exploration and conquest.
To truly unify the people, the first thing we're going to have to do is take religion off the table, because if you look at what's really dividing the people as a collective whole is religion. We need to take spirituality and religion off the table, and we need to come to a common agreement. So for instance, me and you are Hebrew Israelites, right? But we got other people that's in Kemet that think that they're Egypts. We got other people that worship Buddhism. We need to sit down and we need to find a collective ground and a common denominator, and that's what we agree upon. No matter what religion we all agree upon, we should be able to come to the table and say, you know what, even though we all believe in a different concept of God, because if you really look at it, we're talking about the same God, but if we all believe in a different concept of God, regardless on your God concept, regardless on his God concept, regardless on his God concept, let's come together and reach a common denominator. The common denominators is the actual problems and the issues that we are suffering from in the community. So let's not worry about the God concept, let's worry about the issues. Then based off them issues, let's create a solution without bringing our God concept in that's gonna make us go to war with each other. The only time we bring our God concepts in if it's an agreement to help the issues that we're suffering from. The moment that it's at a disagreement, leave it in your household. Let's come together. Because, you know, and I think that's the thing we need to do. The first thing is religion. And we need to study about religion, show that how religion is actually man-made. I think it need to be deeper educations on these things, showing that the belief systems we believe in come from oppressors anyway. Then once we get beyond the oppressors, we need to get into spirituality. Who said that everybody have to practice the same spirituality? Christianity was actually made in Africa before it came to the Americas. You know, when you look at Brahmin, you look at Buddhism, these are man-made religions. This is a man that had a thought, that had an idea from nature, or through taking some type of psychedelic mushrooms, or through doing diaphragmatic breathing or fasting, abstaining from something and getting clarity from the Most High. Through that clarity from the Most High, depending on what culture he's in, depending on what language he speaks, he's going to automatically have a personal representation of how he takes what the Most High said to him. So he might say the floodgates opened up and a flood came and it was only one man that God saved. Another person might say the fountains of the grounds of the deeps open up and it came to drown out some giants, to drown some giants out. Every religion got a flood. Every religion got a God. Every religion got consequences if you go against the natural laws and orders of the God. But all these religions got a different language. Language have different words to meanings. And once you have a language that have different words to meanings, they form different pictures. So when you if everybody get the same word from God that speaks a different language, that grew up a certain type of way, to have different belief systems installed to them by their parents, you can tell us all the same story. When we write that story down, it's going to all be a what? Different story. So we all talking about the same thing, which is passing over from our animalistic nature to a higher self. You know, fighting a beast, fighting a demon. A lot of people want to blame a devil for something. The devil is in you. The devil is your gut. The devil is your lower thought form thoughts. The devil is your addictions. The devil is your lower self. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else just depicted a different way depending on their God concept.